Here are 5 words every RV enthusiast should know: advocacy, community, education, resources, rewards. That's what the RV Advisor was built on, along with protecting your rights. Visit thervadvisor.com.
This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander, and my guest today is Don Kidd. Don from Nomadic Kids, and you can find them on Instagram. Hey, Don, how are you?
I'm good, Tom. Thanks for having me join you. Tell you a little about our story.
Yeah. It's fun. You guys are, nomads on the road, and you've been doing it for quite some time. It's you and your wife and your 2 daughters and your dog Wells as well. And
right.
You guys are on the road a lot. And right now, you shared with me earlier that you're in the Chesapeake, Virginia area, and it looks like a beautiful day up there.
Oh, it is. Tad windy and a little cold, but I'll take that over the blasting heat of stagnant heat of Missouri any day.
Missouri's home. That's where you're from originally?
No, actually, we're from Virginia, so we're headed back here. About 3 hours west of here is where we're headed. My reference to Missouri is because we started off our trip headed to South Dakota through Missouri, and it was May, and it was about as hot as you ever want May to be.
Yeah. Those central states can surprise you. People. I mean, we're here in South Florida, and of course, we're pretty famous for our humidity in the summertime, and it gets very hot. And of course, you got the desert Southwest, which gets very hot. But in the central part of the country, in the plains and stuff like that, people don't always equate it with scalding heat, but it can get nasty.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it can get really just absolutely sweltering. St. Louis in the summer, I understand, can be excruciating sometimes, but that's not a knock on St. Louis as a city. It's just, hey, you just happen to get some heat in there, and it's like, get me out of here. So Don, let me ask you. So you guys are always on the go and going from place to place, living on the road. You work from the road, and the kids, obviously, are homeschooled, right? And they get their education on the road. When you made the transition, well, you said you've been doing this now for about 6-7 years. You made the transition from bricks and mortar to living on the road. How was that for all of you, kind of making that transition?
So, it's funny. So yeah, I have been working remote for 6 or 7 years, and I worked remote in my sticks and bricks. And we had flirted with the idea. We had some friends that had gone on the road and done it full time. Shout out to the Henson Company for that, or Henson.co. They've been doing this for 3 or 4 years, and they kind of motivated us, and my wife followed them and whatnot. And the year of COVID was like, okay, you only live once. The worst that can happen is that we go back to what we've always done, right? We sell our house, we hate the RV life or whatnot, the nomad life. And so we go back to what we've always done. So that was the downside. The upside was, what are we going to see in this country that we've never seen before, which is a ton. So it's like, I know my father-in-law said something, do y'all have a clue what you're doing? I told my wife, I said, we don't have a clue what we're doing, and we'll either figure it out or we won't. And that's kind of how we look at it and approach it. And I mean, there's definitely small little challenges, but my favorite thing to tell everybody, because everybody's like, it must have been a hard trigger to pull. I'm like, I guess, but I've never looked back. And I have a weekend now. Like when a weekend comes, I actually have a weekend. I don't have yard work. I don't have stuff around, like commitments to local things like gymnastics or birthday parties or any of that stuff. We still get to naturally do those things in the community that we have out here, but we don't have those commitments at a Sticks and Bricks.
Yeah, it is very much a different lifestyle from everything. I mean, everything I've heard, I'm Sticks and Bricks, but or bricks and mortar or whatever you want to call it. But I just hear these stories repeatedly on this show. It's a common theme that, folks have. I think the one thing is I hear so much is the freedom of it, that sort of that ease that maybe you don't get when you're in a neighborhood all the time. The neighborhood changes, the front porch changes, the people you see change, yet the community is so strong that it's also very, very welcoming.
It is.
Find that?
Yeah, absolutely. The first couple of months when we head out, we were like, okay, we're not really finding many people or whatnot. And it's probably because more of where we were at the time of the year that we were in those Midwestern states in May, June, July. But after that, like when we got to New England and we're Thousand Trails members, which is very common among a lot of these full-time families out here. We just met just a huge community, and we've met friends that are actually traveling the same paths that we are, that we'll catch up with at various points. Mm-hmm. We've had my mom come out. We've had other folks come out and visit, and so it's just been a lot of it's just been a good. It's been a good sense of community, and that's what we use Instagram for. Mm-hmm. Is that community. We're not trying to find product endorsements or create a business out of it or income off of it. But it has been a way for our family to keep up with this, our friends to keep up with this, and for us to find that community. It's pretty amazing how big it is and how small the world is.
Yeah, it's surprising. It gets smaller every day. My guest is Don Kidd from Nomadic Kids, and we're going to chat more with Don after this break. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander. Stay tuned.
GPS is Gigi's personal services. She's an RV expert with over 3 decades of experience. To learn more, visit thervadvisor.com today.
We're back on the RV Advisor Podcast. My name's Tom Alexander. And the kids are joining us, the Nomadic Kids, if you will. It's Don and his daughter, Zoe. Hey, Zoe, how you doing?
Good.
That's good. You're out. I think you were outside with some friends or running around out there in the fresh air, huh?
Yes.
Pretty nice out, right? It's your dad said it's a little cool, but it's a bright, sunny day.
Yeah, my feet are very cold. We were trying to start a fire, but it didn't work.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you had shoes on. I mean, did you have shoes on?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
sandals, no socks.
Sandals, no socks. Okay. Well, yeah. Maybe you should have. Maybe next time. Now you know that it's cool out there. You can throw a pair of socks on and some sneakers or something, right?
Yeah.
So Zoe, you've been on the road now for a while here with mom and dad and your sister and Wells the dog. I think I got everybody right. You like it on the road? You having a good time?
Yeah, I do love it on the road. I love RVing.
You do, huh? And you have and so let me ask you this: you get to see new things and meet new people all the time. A lot of kids your age don't get to do that. What do you think? What do you think about that? You get to see a lot of new things, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And can you share with us maybe a thing or two that in the last, let's say, month or so that you've seen that you've really thought was really pretty cool?
Well, in the last month or two, we've had like friends, and we've been in New York City, and that was really fun with friends.
Well, a lot to do in New York. There's a lot of things there, right? Did you go to the Statue of Liberty?
We saw it, but we didn't go.
Okay, so you saw it from a distance, right?
Yeah, on a boat.
All right. Yeah, and the weather, I guess, well, you said it was a couple months ago, so I guess the weather was a lot warmer at that point, right?
Yes, a lot warmer.
Yeah.
Went there with some friends that we met in Maine, so that was kind of cool. You meet folks in Maine, and then you end up seeing each other and hanging out in New York City.
Yeah,
so
you reconnect, right? You know, that's one of the great things about RVs, because, you know, like you said, you can meet someone in one state and then say, hey, you know what, we're going to be in, I don't know, North Carolina in 3 weeks. Maybe we'll see you, you know, that kind of a thing. And sometimes
Florida's a popular one.
Which one is?
Florida.
Yeah, I would think so. You know, we got a lot of, I hear we have a lot of theme parks here. I think that's part of what we, have you been to Disney World?
We went to Disney World when we were younger, and we're going to Disney World for our Christmas gift now.
Wow. Oh, well, that's a pretty cool Christmas gift. That's, yeah. Main Street USA, you get to see all the Disney characters. Lots to do in Disney World. And there's other big theme parks there too, you know, right there in the right in the neighborhood. So it's a really cool place in Orlando. So do you remember it from the last time you were there, or you were pretty young, you said? So do you remember it, or do you think this time it'll really sink in this time around?
Well, last time we did the princesses and all the Mickey and all them, and that's all I remember doing at Disney last time.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do this time?
This time we're gonna do the theme park. I mean, the roller coasters and all those.
Well, that's cool. You know, I gotta tell you, I'll let you in on a secret, Zoe. I'm not. You sound a lot more adventurous than me, because I'm not a good roller coaster guy. I tend to, you know, it's like I get a little dizzy on those things. But it sounds like you're gonna have a good time, and I'll tell you, there's just so much to do there, and you're going at a great time of the year at Christmas. The weather's generally pretty awesome, so you'll be able to run around in shorts and a t-shirt and not worry about getting cold, right?
Yeah.
And it's the dead of winter, so you could tell all your friends who are freezing somewhere else, hey, look at me, you know, I'm in Disney World having a good, and it's nice and warm, right?
Yes,
that's not a bad deal.
That's what we plan on doing.
All right. Well, I don't want to hold you up, Zoe, from going outside and playing more. So, you know, if you want to, you could hang with us, or you could take off. Whatever you want to do, it's your call.
What do you want to do?
I'll stay on until I see the boys.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds like a plan. So, well, obviously, Disney World is in the queue. It's something that you guys are going to be doing here very soon. The holidays will be here before you know it. Anywhere else you're thinking about, Don? Somewhere that maybe you'd like to go? Somewhere special? Take Zoe and the team.
After we do 6 weeks in Florida, 6 or 7 weeks in Florida, and we're going to start in Jacksonville. There's a state park that we really like there that some friends turned us on to, called Catherine Abbey Hanna. It's in Jacksonville. So we'll hit that up. Then 3 weeks in Orlando, 3 weeks in Peace River. Our goal is to get to Mardi Gras. I don't know if that makes me a bad parent, but Mardi Gras is after Florida. And yeah.
That's February, I think, is when Mardi Gras hits, right?
End of February, beginning of March. Yes, sir.
There we go. Okay. Well, listen, you know what? There's great music and great food in the city of New Orleans. And so, you know, those are two really good things that families can enjoy together. And that is the family friendly version, I think, of the whole Mardi Gras experience. We'll maybe wait till they're a little older to share some of the other things that go on in Mardi Gras. But that's okay. There's a lot of great, you expose them to some good jazz, and you can also expose them to some amazing food, because that is a great food city, New Orleans.
Oh, that's good. We do love to eat.
Yes.
And luckily my girls are not very picky, so they'll
good.
try.
Well, that's good. A lot of times, I hear this because, well, my son's a lot older now, but I remember when he was a kid, he was the guy that was pretty adventurous and would eat almost anything, but a lot of his friends were super picky. And if it wasn't between if it wasn't like a hamburger or a pizza, they didn't want anything to do with anything else,
Wow.
No, that, so it's good that you're adventurous. That's a good spirit to have. I like that. Yes. So, all right. Well, listen, folks, it was great to visit, great to meet you, Zoe, and I hope you continue to enjoy life on the road with your family. And we'd love to have you guys on again. Maybe next time we can meet the entire family. And,
that's right. Yes,
that would be a lot of fun. And we'll and maybe the next time you will have just wrapped up at Mardi Gras, and we'll get you on again. What do you think of that?
Hey, that sounds fun. Yeah,
Zoe, I want to hear a firsthand account. I want you to be like a newspaper reporter. Well, there's no more. Forget newspapers; those are kind of a TV reporter, and say, "Well, here's what I did in New Orleans." I want to hear your whole story. Okay.
Okay.
All right. That sounds like a plan. Well, the Nomadic Kids, we met two of the Nomadic Kids today, Don and Zoe, and it was a lot of fun to meet both of them, and we'll have you on again, folks, very, very soon. Have a great Thanksgiving. Actually, let's see, when does this show run? Actually, this show runs after Thanksgiving. So hope you had a good Thanksgiving. And have a good holiday season ahead. So we'll talk to you again. We'll talk to you again next year.
Thanks.
Bye.
This is the RV Advisor Podcast. Stay tuned. We'll be back to wrap things up.
Watch Just Ask Gigi with Gigi Stetler and Tom Alexander. It posts every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on our Facebook page.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the RV Advisor Podcast. Just want to remind you, you can register your unit today at rvaca.org. That's rvaca.org. Thanks so much for watching and listening to the RV Advisor Podcast. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.